What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off what the charts are showing and based off what the data is suggesting. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the Fed and how this could affect Tesla, what could end up happening tomorrow based off the options flow we're seeing for the SPY, some big announcements involving Tesla, and also what Elon Musk, the man, the myth, the legend Elon Musk, put on his Twitter page, which is good news for Tesla. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, so don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, one of these 12 free stocks could be a free Tesla share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 2 weeks. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we're currently just a little bit in the red right now, but overall Tesla is still holding up a lot better than how SPY has been as of right now. But I want to talk about some very big factors that could affect both Tesla and SPY and talk about their significance. So if I compare both SPY and Tesla side by side just like this, you'll notice that when it comes to their trends, SPY is the one that looks a lot weaker than Tesla as of right now. Tesla's holding up a little bit better relative to SPY. If you look at the overall trends like this, you can see Tesla got a nice balance. It still is respecting a slight uptrend over a longer period of time. But if this truly was rejection right here, you guys can see how Tesla has this long wick and ended up coming down, then it's actually going to see a big flip from here and it could end up coming down. Now, considering the fact that AI Day is coming up within like 2 weeks, we can't necessarily confirm that yet, and we have to really see what goes on first before making that conclusion. Now, if you look at SPY though, it's a completely different story because SPY, obviously, it was respecting a bit of a downtrend, it got a big reversal off this like 360 zone, and after that, it was pushing to the upside for quite a bit of time, but quite recently we actually broke below this trend line, and SPY is still looking a lot more bearish overall. I think I could also bring up the weekly chart. If you guys look at this giant bearish engulfing candle right over here, it's not looking too good for SPY. So what could end up happening though is I don't think that it would be a surprise if SPY actually pushes up just a little bit, maybe fills this gap first and then continues to come down after that. That could still be a very big sign of weakness because the overall trend still looks pretty bearish as SPY is coming down slowly. Now, a big push like that would actually be pretty close to where the 200 EMA is. So perhaps we push up, get a big rejection off that. That is what could end up happening over the near term. Now, overall, I want to talk about something else that's very important. That is what's going on with the Fed right now. So for Tesla and for big companies like this, Tesla's notorious for having strong profits, very, very strong margins as well. And what I'm seeing right now is if the Fed truly is going to be even more hawkish and we do get that 100 basis point rate hike, this could lead to not just a big recession, but also a big recession for earnings. So earnings per share, profits, margins, all of these could be affected for lots of companies, including Tesla. Now, unfortunately, for a lot of the bears out there, though, Tesla does have an advantage over a lot of other companies. As Elon Musk mentioned before, many commodity prices are actually starting to go down. So we could actually see some pricings for Tesla also come down over the next couple of months. But one thing that is kind of like something Tesla needs to work even more on would be the backlog of orders, because there are these big delays in their delivery dates, and it's not necessarily their fault because demand is very high. But what does kind of like concern me a bit is the situation in China. I really want to break down why China kind of concerns me, because in China, they have these big lockdowns. A lot more Chinese people are actually saving more money than before. And that in turn is going to slow down not just their economy, but their growth and overall demand for a lot of things. So if demand for Teslas goes down, that's not going to be the best of signs. But what's good about Tesla, though, is they're doing a great job at their deliveries. Their projections are amazing. So I still think Tesla should hold up pretty well over the next couple of months. But some downside is still very possible because their earnings per share could be affected by the change in demand and the higher interest rates. Now, for the Fed right now, in the current context of things, we are starting to price in a 100 basis point rate hike, and we have fully priced in 75 basis points. Now, if the Fed gives us 75 basis points, the market could actually rally off that because we already priced this in. We're actually going lower than how low we could have gone. Now, for 100 basis points, if we get that, not going to be the best signs. The market could remain a little bit more choppy for a longer period of time. Now, based off the data, as of right now, you can see the price pairs ratio is higher. It's going on this uptrend. Tesla is outperforming the SPY, at least to a larger degree than before. This doesn't mean that I'm saying that Tesla is going to rally while SPY crashes. All I'm saying is that SPY so far has been dropping a lot harder than Tesla has been so far. So, Tesla is showing some strength, and that could be because of the fact that AI Day is coming out relatively soon. However, that does not change the fact that the SPY does have an impact on Tesla. SPY does impact how Tesla moves, at least to a degree. So, with that said, if we look at the overall options chain, just for instance, the flow right now is a lot more bearish than bullish. Lots of the bears are just loading in on puts right now. Particularly that 370 strike is actually becoming a lot more popular, and it looks like they really want to bring SPY down again. Now, if they go way too hard on the put side, we've seen what happened in the past where SPY would just suddenly get a big rally, but I can't guarantee that just yet considering how bearish SPY was looking on the weekly. So be very cautious and be very, very careful. Now, another big thing is the fact that FOMC is coming up in just a couple of days, so I do anticipate a lot more chop to come, guys. Lots of choppy price action, crazy moves here and there. There's a lot more flow on the SPX for the put side. So please be very cautious, be very, very careful with your trades and what actually ends up going down. Now, for Tesla, something that's really cool and something good, though, is the fact that we're less than 2 weeks away from AI Day, and I really believe it's very likely that they're going to have a prototype for a humanoid robot. And you guys can see they're kind of teasing us with this really cool image for Optimus. I think it's going to be a fantastic thing, and that could be part of the reason as to why Tesla's holding up pretty well right now. So it's very awesome to see things like this. As far as the share price goes, what do I really see happening right now? Well, it looks like SPY tried to get a bounce off that 382. It's starting to push up a bit. We do have resistance off that 386 range. If SPY could push up just a little bit, perhaps maybe get some relief just for like the first hour or so of the market open, we could end up filling this gap like right over here, get a big rejection, then come tumbling down again, and maybe come even below 382. Now, if we don't push up and fill this gap, SPY is going to retest that 382 range. If it comes down, then the whole market, because the market's kind of moving in unison right now, the whole market could take a hit. Now, Tesla's been holding up pretty well, but if you guys look at this long wick on this candle, the question is this really the temporary peak for Tesla? Because notice how, like, right here in the past, Tesla had this like wick here. It had like a temporary peak at 314, it got a rejection, pushed up, another peak, big rejection. So now it came down harder. You could argue that it's starting to make these lower lows. The question is this going to be a lower high, or is Tesla going to push up more? In my honest opinion, it looks more like this thing might actually come down a bit and end up retesting this trend line over the next couple of days. It's very possible Tesla does come down a bit. I could see this thing actually falling below the 300s very soon, but because it's holding up a lot better than SPY, I'm not as bearish as I would have been in a different uh, instance. So for what I'm predicting, let's now focus more on Tesla. I'm anticipating that going into tomorrow, Tesla already filled its gap up here, showed some nice strength, and a lot of the bears actually got kind of destroyed a couple of days ago. So I want to talk about this. What could end up happening is Tesla gets a push back to 305, but we want to see if this thing could push all the way back to this 309 range. If Tesla gets a big rejection, this could be an indication. I don't know what I'm saying. An indication that Tesla could be making those lower highs and starting to respect a slight downtrend. So if we get rejected off 305, it's very possible this thing could actually start to come down, especially with FOMC coming very, very soon. The market is most likely going to be pretty choppy. Tesla is going to retest 300. We may end up breaking below that and coming back down to 295. And hopefully we get a bounce off that unless SPY dumps really hard. Then Tesla could slowly come down a bit and maybe come lower. But as of right now, I'm going to be watching for 295. We did bounce off that on Friday. And what else tends to happen is Fridays tend to be a reflection of Mondays in a market like this. It's just an occurrence that I just keep noticing. So because we were red on Friday, it's very possible for us to be red again. I don't anticipate Tesla's going to come tumbling down like super hard, but at the same time, in this market, you should be prepared for anything. So I'm anticipating a slight red day kind of like this. I want to see us hold 295. If Tesla doesn't hold that, guys, 290 is going to be on the table. We could end up retesting this very, very soon. And if we do end up coming all the way down to 290, we're at risk of coming down even lower because this would show signs of a downtrend starting to be respected by Tesla. Now, as far as the technicals go, so I want to transition now into looking at this from a more technical standpoint instead of just doing predictions. I'm going to look at the weekly on Tesla. And what you'll notice is so far in the weekly chart, we are showing a little bit of we're showing less strength right in this range compared to before. So this could be an indication that Tesla is slowing down when it comes to the push to the upside. Now with big events coming, things could be kind of like choppy. So we have to be very cautious in this zone, and it does look like it could actually start coming down a bit from here. Now, as far as the other charts go, if you look at other indicators, you'll notice this right over here. So the overall volume on Tesla is not actually looking that horrible, at least as of right now. We got a nice amount of volume just a couple of days ago. So I'm really hoping that we can see this hold up pretty well. If it doesn't hold up and we start to see it kind of decrease like this, that could be a bearish signal as well. Now, as far as technicals go, on the MACD, we got kind of like a crossover right here. But notice how the histograms on the MACD are not very wide. They're very thin right now. So that's a sign that Tesla's not doing as well on this uptrend as before. RSI is still holding up all right. It's not extremely strong yet. So it's one of those moments where we have to just watch and see how it reacts. It still looks a little bit more bearish than bullish overall, though, in, as far as the macros really look. Now, from a technical standpoint, I'm still a lot more bullish for the long term future. And for the short term, I want to see how Tesla reacts to the changes in the markets. So Tesla's going to have these like massive amounts of cars being produced, but in parts of the world like China, we could see demand really start to fall. So I want to see how Tesla really deals with that issue. Are they going to start like shipping more cars to alternative parts of the world like the USA? Because demand is still very high here, and we still have those big backlogs and orders, especially for the long range like Model 3, just for instance. So, anyways, guys, Tesla's doing well overall. I want to see them, remain very strong. I want to see their margins improve, and I really want to see them make big adjustments to changes to come. We do have earnings coming out, I think, like next month. We should have the quarterly deliveries report coming out very soon, and I do think that this quarter should be pretty decent. But the future quarters, we should see lots of production. But the real question is, how is demand going to be impacted based off the recessions we're seeing around the world and global events? And the biggest date that I see for Tesla coming out like super soon would be AI Day. I think this could be a very, very nice day as well for Tesla. Maybe the share price really does push up with this. So I'm optimistic. I do think that Tesla's going to unveil some really cool robots, and I'm very excited for that. So please be ready for that. It's coming on, I think they have the date right here, on September 30th. So it's coming very, very soon. And I can't wait to see what they unveil. And the last thing I want to talk about is what Elon Musk stated on his Twitter page, which is good news. We have another big update coming out with the full self-driving technology. There's going to be additional polishes to be made, and it's coming out shortly after the AI day. So very excited for this as well. I'm very proud of their Doji compute that they're using on a daily basis to really learn from their mistakes, to really become a lot more coherent, a lot more intelligent, and a lot more safer for drivers on a daily basis. I do believe that their AI technology is just huge, and I'm still super bullish for the long-term future. With that said, guys, Tesla's an amazing company. I really hope that they hold up very well, as we are most likely going to start to see companies take some hits because of rates going up, because of the recession, and so on and so forth. So I'm still very optimistic for Tesla. I really hope that they hold up and make big adjustments, and they still maintain some very, very good macroeconomic margins and things like that as time goes on. For tomorrow in particular, like I mentioned, guys, I want to see how Tesla really reacts to support and resistance levels. I'm actually more hopeful that Tesla could hold up a lot better than other stocks out there. like SPY. So far, I want to see how it reacts. The next key zone to really watch for is 300. If we could hold that, obviously it's not a super strong support zone. The next more strong support zone would be that 295. And if that doesn't hold us, watch out for that 290 because that could be retested again in the near term future as we have FOMC approaching us. Now, if Tesla pushes up, you have to watch for 305. If we push above that, then 309 is next on the table. Do I think we're going to go that high based off the overall market? I think it's a little bit unlikely Tesla actually pushes all the way up here. But hey, Tesla sometimes surprises us and sometimes squeezes when you least expect it. So we'll have to wait and see. This is just what I'm anticipating as of right now. And I do think the downside's a little bit more likely for Tesla because of the overall market, just not as extreme as before. With that said and done, thank you all so much for listening. Please enjoy your weekend. Take care, stay strong, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Tesla to the moon because the long term future is bright, and peace out.